Hey, seventh grade. Just want to say hello and I really hope everyone is happy, healthy, and safe. Well, let's get to work, guys. So, I just want to say good job for those of you that turned in your lists. And goodness gracious, like for example, I just Max turned in his list. Donna Navarro, uh, Donna Nava just turned in her list. Esmeralda Padilla Nuno, I want to give a big shout out to you because you completed the project. So Esmeralda, she turned it in. She turned in an image, uploaded an image of her Everything Mexico project, and within it, it had pretty much like the one I showed you, but much nicer. Hers was much nicer. So within it, she of course had things related to or that originate from Mexico. So big thumbs up. And I just want to say, Esmeralda, that I have two suggestions. One, you can start to draw things outside of the map of Mexico, or you can focus on a state in particular. So again, you can draw stuff around the state of Mexico or focus on a state in particular. Now, what do you mean a state in particular? Well, Esmeralda, I was born in Guanajuato. I am from the state of Guanajuato. So when I say focus on a state, this is what I mean. So let me bring up an image of the map of Mexico, okay? So, and I'm not going to focus so much on Mexico itself, Esmeralda. So I'll show you what I mean. So very quickly, just let me let me just sketch a map of Mexico, or an image of Mexico as it appears on the map. And this is what I mean. And well, just give me 1 second. Just give me a few seconds, rather, a minute or so, and we'll discuss what I suggest. Or more to the point, I'll give you my suggestion. So my suggestion is this. As I said earlier, I am from Guanajuato, which ends up being pretty much mid-Mexico, central Mexico. So I'll draw Guanajuato, my state, where I was born, mi tierra natal, where I was born. And what I'll do, Esmeralda, is I'll then basically give it a projection, which means now I'm really focusing on the state. I basically enlarge it. I'm pretty sure you've seen images like this on the internet, or maybe even in books. So what I'll do again is I'll just enlarge the state, okay? I'll just go on over and I'm enlarging the state. Now, within the state of Guanajuato, or maybe you can focus on one or two states. So again, one suggestion is this. You can focus on images outside of Mexico, and you can focus on you could focus on one or two states in particular. Now, where I'm from, we're pretty much famous for cajeta. I don't know if you guys know what cajeta is, but for those of you that don't speak Spanish or maybe never tried cajeta, cajeta is basically Mexico's version of caramel. And where I'm from, in Guanajuato, they tend to use goat's milk. And so what I'll draw is I'll draw the bottle as I remembered as a kid. And then we have our cajeta, guys, okay? And then you could always label it if you so choose to, okay? Cajeta. So I believe it was Cajeta San Marcos, if memory serves, but I may be wrong. And we're also known for candy. So I might focus on things like candy. And so I guess what I'm trying to say is, Miranda, is great job. I wasn't expecting the completed drawing. I really wasn't. So you did an amazing job. It must have taken you hours. I was really just expecting your list. But again, great job. And this is my suggestion. So number one, you can draw things outside of your map of Mexico. Again, you can draw things outside of it. And of course, you can focus, as I said, on a state or states in particular, okay? So that's my suggestion. Focus on a state, or perhaps three suggestions. Number one, draw things outside of Mexico. Number two, focus on a projection and enlargement of one or two states. Or number three, you can focus on an entirely new country altogether. If I were in your shoes, if I said, oh my gosh, so I turned in Mr. Ruiz's drawing, the Everything Mexico, I hope he likes it. I love it, Esmeralda, A+, all the way, A+. So what you can do is maybe focus on another country that you're interested in learning about. Oh, for example, Japan, France, Papua New Guinea. So you take my suggestions and run with it. Take one of the three, rather. Number one, draw things outside of Mexico. Number two, give me an enlargement or projection of 1 or 2 states within Mexico. Maybe you can ask your parents where you're from, or where they're from, where they were born, or your grandparents what state they come from, or where they originate from in Mexico, el origen, where they originate from in Mexico, what region or state. So you can do that. Or number three, you can give me a new country altogether, okay? A new country altogether. So thank you guys for your lists. Now, again, don't freak out. Don't say, oh my gosh, Esmeralda turned in her drawing. Now I have to turn in my drawing. Guys, it's okay. So number 1, you were to turn in your list of 20 items, minimum. Some of you turned in a few more. Awesome. Number 2, guys, this is what you're doing for this week. And for this week, I mean for the week of 4/20/20 to 4/24/20. You're going to give me some sketches. I want to see drawings. Don't focus so much on Mexico right now. I want you to become a little more comfortable or familiar with what you're going to draw. And the more you work on it, the more you sketch and draw, the better you become at it. So for this week, I want your sketches. But as I was saying with Esmeralda, she's already done. So again, she can draw things outside of Mexico, outside of her map of Mexico, outside. So without, or outside, I should say. Or she could focus on a particular state, or particular states. She could focus on 1 or 2. So great job, Esmeralda. Now, my guy Max, I just want to say good to hear from you, Max. Max wants to have a Google Meet session, and we're going to do it once we get situated. Once I learn how to use Google Meet. You know, guys, you know me well and good. You know I'll never sit here and lie to you guys. I'll never make myself out to be something I'm not. But in short, Max, once we get situated, once I know what time you guys are Google meeting with your homeroom teachers, then we'll select the time where we can meet. And it might be 9 a.m., Max, because that's when I would typically see my 7th graders, as you know. So again, Max, big shout out. Thank you for your list of things from Ireland. So Max is working on everything Ireland, which I love. So Max, one suggestion. So again, just give me so I have a map of Ireland up, Max. And again, great job on your list. So Max turned in his list. Great job, Max. Check. So Max, for this week, and this is the week, of course, of 4/20/20 to 4/24, which is Friday coming up. That's when your sketches will be due, okay? So just give me some sketches. I want to see some sketches, okay? I want to see sketches. Now, a couple of suggestions, Max. Good job on the selection. I didn't know you were Irish. What's the word I'm looking for? I didn't know that your grandparents or your family descends from Ireland. So cool. Or that you have descendants from Ireland, I should say, Max. So good job, Max. Thank you for sharing that. So let me go on ahead, and I'm just going to quickly sketch a map of Ireland, or an outline of Ireland, rather, as it appears on the map. And it's pretty. It's how can I put it? There's a lot of curved lines, but no worries, Max. We're just going to quickly sketch it. And I just want to make a few suggestions because, I know very little about Ireland. I will never sit here and lie to you and say, oh my gosh, I'm so well read, I'm so well traveled. No, guys, no. But I do know a little bit about Ireland. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, I know, of course, that Northern Ireland has been partitioned by the English. Basically, the English run Northern Ireland. I know about the Irish Republican Army, who did an amazing job of fighting for their independence against the British. And I know things like I know a little bit about the ancient Celtic religion, or more to the point, the Druids. I believe the Celts were the people, and the religion they practiced, was they were Druids, or Druidisms, I suppose, or Druidism. And Druids were basically priests. And these priests, how they basically worship nature, and they would hold their sessions or their talks, or I guess how to put it, other than, I don't know how else to put it, under ceremonies. They would hold their ceremonies under very, very large oak trees. So they worship nature. They were like animists. They believed that every living thing in this, everything in this world, living or inanimate, like living like a bird, and inanimate, excuse me, guys, like for example a rock, had a spirit. So that was the religion they practiced. They were basically animists. They believed that everything in this world or in this universe has a spirit. But in short, Max, so here of course we have and I for Northern Ireland. So this is, of course, the English region, so we might want to stay away from that. But the point being this, Max, excuse me, guys, I think I may be running out of lead. Give me 1 second. So, sorry about that. So, I know very little, as I said, about Ireland, but I do know this, Max. I know it's a little cliche, you know, like super overused, but of course, I think we all know about St. Patrick's Day and like what's, so we have a leprechaun, and of course we have the four-leaf clover. I know it's a little cliche, a little lame or overused, Max, but just an idea, you know, of things that we can do, or more to the point, what I'd like to see from your list. And again, I know very little about Ireland. IRA fought against independence from the English. Not too long ago, mind you. This was in the 80s, if memory serves, so early 80s. Lasted quite a while. I believe the war lasted maybe 10 or 11 years, but don't quote me on it. I know a little bit about the Druids or the Celts. The ancient priests were referred to as the Druids, I should say, and the people were referred to as the Celts, the Celtics. Here we pronounce it Celtics, but anyways, like the team, the basketball team. But anyway, Max, so I would draw a four-leaf clover, and again, I know it's a little lame, a little cliche, like super overused, but again, you know, it's something that we can use or consider using. And again, I really enjoyed your list. Keep up the good work, Max, and we'll take it from there, okay, guys? And so very quickly, just a quick little sketch, okay, guys? So again, I've always been drawn to like I don't know how to put it other than like things the likes of the Druids, like these ancient religions or these ancient priests that called themselves the Druids. And these Druids, again, they believed that everything within nature had a spirit, and they would hold their sessions, they would hold their religious sessions under a large oak tree. Those and the oak trees are the ones that produce acorns, guys. So I would do something like that, guys. And then I might choose to draw someone that appears to be wearing a cloak, or kind of like what's the word I'm looking for, guys? Kind of like basically a robe, I suppose. So something like that, guys. I would focus on something like that. So make it look as though there's an ancient Druid priest under the oak tree. So again, guys, good job. Love the lists, and I'm looking forward to seeing your sketches, guys. I hope you're safe, happy, and healthy. Bye, guys.